Yes, yes, Sir Hairless here. We are here with our next monthly members poll winner, and the theme for this poll was upbeat. This is Chicago with their song Saturday in the Park. Just a reminder that if you want to vote on these monthly members polls, you just need to become a Patreon member completely free. There's a different theme for each month, so we get a good bit of variety in there. So, Chicago. I know a couple of Chicago songs. They have some really, really well-known songs. From the ones that I know and think are probably the most famous, they are very calm. They're much calmer than an upbeat song. So I was pleasantly surprised to see Chicago as a submission for this one. That's certainly new to me. The songs that I do know by them, I love. I really, really think they are genuinely fantastic. So I am excited for this one. I did look up the lyrics just beforehand, and they seem very kind of matter-of-fact or to the point, not philosophical or open to interpretation, shall we say. We're going back over half a century for this one, back to 1972. Oh, the tonal shift seems to have changed. Well, I've just paused. How far are we? 1 minute and 16 seconds in. I think this is good for a pause. If this is your first time watching the channel, this is where we pause. If I play a song all the way through, uninterrupted, then there's much more chance that it can be taken down. If there's a case brought against me because I'm basically just showing the song as a listening alternative, and that's not what we do. We want to give insight, show that we are providing some actual value instead of just sitting here and going, wow. So we're going to do our pause. If you don't like pauses and some talking about the song before we carry on, then maybe my channel is not for you. Right, this is a fun one. I think we can see that immediately. Not what I expected, but again, I didn't really know what to expect because I only know a couple of Chicago songs which are just completely different. As soon as the song started, with the chords that we were hearing, I knew that things are going to be funked up a little bit. What I was not expecting were the various changed sections though, and just all-round unexpected bits. Things that were surprising, that didn't necessarily conform to the usual harmonic progressions or that kind of thing. So I'll try and just pick out the most interesting bits. I feel like this is one of those songs where a lot of it is just quite obvious. For example, when this bit comes in. I don't really need to talk about it. It's obvious what we're hearing. A new instrument coming in, a new family of instruments as well. Just a simple falling pattern. That's usually the type of pattern you'd expect to hear underneath the music in the bass, for example. It's so simple that it's quite ear-catching. I was going to say eye-catching, but we're listening, not watching. And I think a reason for that is just because of the natural rhythmic energy in the rest of the music. Right from the off, again, very, very obvious syncopations. As we listen, just click 1, 2, 3, 4 as the main kind of beats, and you'll just see when piano chords fall in between them, and then when the other instruments come in, the percussion as well later on. Lovely bass line. And every other beat, we're getting a very accentuated cha. Very subtle, but it really just injects a lot of energy into the song. Lovely chromatic rise there. In contrary motion to the falling bass underneath that, just before the vocals come in. All the parts are really fun. Like I say, that they're quite obvious, the main parts, so I don't feel I need to really go into them much. Style of singing, I really like it. It's quite to the point, and interestingly, I think that really complements the lyrics, as I mentioned in the introduction. They're very kind of to the point. So we have chromaticisms in there. I've pointed out one or two. We've got very simple falling lines. The first one I pointed out, that's also chromatic. And what else do we have? As with a lot of music, we've got a nice bass line. And for a big portion of this, the bass line is just accentuating the chords that we're hearing, the harmonic progression, or in other words, the chords in a specific order. We're basically hearing 4 chords. A, D, G, C. Don't worry about the names of them, but why this is such a natural and quite a simple chord progression. This is our good friend, the circle of fifths. I've spoken about him or her in many of my previous videos. You don't need to worry about too much what it is, but basically chords that are next to each other will flow naturally to each other. The letters that I just said were A, D, G, C. It's just going straight round the circle of fifths. The outside circle are major chords, slightly happier sounding. Inside circle are minor chords, slightly sadder sounding. The first chord is actually A minor, but swapping out a major for a minor chord occasionally is fine. So yeah, just straight round there. And that's what the bass is outlining. The chords, if I just play those chords in their raw standard form, this is what it would sound like. Which we do kind of get, but that third chord in particular does not sound the same to me. I'll play the opening chords and I'll play the piano chords on top, and we'll see if anything sounds a little bit amiss. That third chord, the G chord, even though the bass line is going, so we're thinking, oh yeah, that is a G chord. The notes above it just aren't. It's more kind of... And then on the G chord, instead of... It's almost like a... I won't go into more detail and bore you with the theory behind it, but I think they've really cleverly taken the guise of just a very standard 4-chord pattern, just moving around the circle of fifths. But in weird ways, it's not actually that, because they funked them up with all these other little jazzy notes in there that the illusion is so almost broken. I don't know. I really like that touch. People dancing, people the percussion contrast to the melodic rhythmic change here. I mean, it's a change of everything. I've been speaking for a while, so we should probably listen to a bit more of the song before I pause again. But these changed sections just afterwards as well. And I've been waiting such a long time. Syncopation's just absolutely everywhere. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what happens for the rest of the song, to be honest, because a lot of it is not what I would have guessed at all. I feel vindicated in a way for saying I didn't know what to expect, because how could you? There was just a lot of unexpected things. The most obvious there was the complete change in the shift of your fundamentals of rhythm, the time signature, the meter. And just before it happened, just there, I don't know if I was going to say anything. I try not to talk when the music's playing, but I definitely, I don't know, my body reacted because of that weird rhythmic change. Slow motion ride. I did not think it would be a permanent change, or semi-permanent at least. Really, really cool. The lyrics, slow motion riders. And I think that's what I might have been doing in my chair. Like I'm kind of riding a horse in slow-mo. Just a complete shift now. Why is it a shift or a change? Well, if you technically still count like we were at the start, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me just play a bit from earlier. We can hear 1, 2, 3, 4. You can actually do that for this changed bit as well. Slow motion riders. 1, 2, 3, 4. So how does that work? Why does it sound so different? Well, each of those 4 beats now is subdivided into 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Whereas before they were just subdivided into 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Splitting the main beats into 3 smaller beats is called compound time. Compound time is a great way of making things a bit more rhythmic, because you can have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but you can also have 1, 2, and then 1, like 1, da dum, ba bum, ba bum, and it creates a really bouncy feel, which is exactly what we get now. A lot less regimented, a bit more free, and when we follow on from what we've been hearing previously, the contrast, in my opinion, is quite great. I love how the oohs come in, and the one note that you can hear, that note does not move as all the other notes move as the chords change. So naturally that's going to cause dissonance because that note doesn't necessarily fit in as well with the newer chords. I think it was the 4th of July. Oh, but it only moves there at the end of our 4-chord sequence. This is really a technique that they're using a lot. It's one of the first things I noticed with the initial piano chords. Like I said before, they're basically funked up, and we're getting a lot of repeated notes, even though the rest of the notes with the chords change. Listen here for the trumpet. In the middle on this note. Never changing. You help him change the world. So with the other trumpet part on top, they sound like there, immediate dissonance. They're the 2 notes we're hearing. That repeated note is acting almost like a drone, which is interesting because I often point out drones in other songs. They can have a completely different effect. They can often be kind of menacing in a way, or very archaic. Not the case at all here, and it just shows how when you take a musical tool or technique and the context is different, it's a completely different effect that's produced. If you enjoy these videos or find them helpful, please consider supporting me. Patreon has a bunch of exclusive benefits, behind the scenes videos, additional reaction content, Q&A videos, and more. For a one-time donation, you can donate me a hot chocolate at the Buy Me a Coffee link, or become a YouTube member for these groovy emojis and membership badges. And a huge thank you to these lovely people on the screen now. In that new bouncy section, the colors of the day, a bronze man still can. The harmony is changing as well. We're getting new chords in there that we've not really had before. Slightly strange chord progression, at least compared to our very standard 4-chord pattern from the start. There's a lot to talk about in this. I cannot cover everything, but overall, I think the element of surprise is a very big factor in this song. Let's carry on until the end. That offbeat is so strong. I don't often talk about the percussion as much in my videos, simply because I'm not a percussion player. Percussion by itself is almost like a whole new world out there. But in this song, I'm finding myself much more than usual really drawn to it. There's so much variety in it. Maybe try and listen out just for the drums as well. I'll go back a bit and yeah, we'll carry on. How sparse and now. A real celebration. The opposite. Waiting for us all. Waiting for us all. You want it, really want it. Can you dig it? Yes, I There we go. Saturday in the Park. The first upbeat song by Chicago I've heard. The last section there, very similar to everything I've said before. They were just kind of constantly, even newer ideas. There was a lovely little guitar line coming through there. Dissonance, the idea of dissonance, two notes played together that create a clash, was a very prominent feature as well. And even right at the end, this chord progression. That's the cadence, that's the final cadence, and it just does not indicate, by our usual standards, that that's going to happen. Because we were here, and then we finish in C. What's the significance? Well, the first chord that we heard, and going back to our circle of fifths, every major chord on the outside has a related minor chord. They're very, very close to each other, and that's exactly what we get here. Finishing here on the C, but we started here on the A minor. Starting on a sad chord, finishing on a happier chord. Maybe the Saturday in the Park was just what they needed to make that shift over to the happy. Cool. Well, let me know if there are any other Chicago songs you think that I absolutely have to listen to broaden my horizons. If you made it this far, thank you very, very much for watching. Would really appreciate a like on the video. You can help the algorithm by leaving a comment. It doesn't have to be any words if you don't want. Let's go for an emoji. How about a tree emoji like you see on the screen now for the park? Once more, if you'd like to vote on these polls, you can do so by joining my Patreon for free, and I will see you in the next one.